The silent rise, when the quietest reclaim legacy and shape the future of the family. Ethan Lin grew up in the space of microchips and innovative ideas at Lin Innovations, the company his father, Victor Lin, built from a small garage 30 years ago. Victor is a man who is passionate about creativity and has spent his life turning ideas into reality. Ethan and his sister Sophia Lin grew up beside him, learning from the early days of watching their father work hard with circuit boards and source code. While Sophia inherited Victor's charisma and natural leadership, Ethan had the soul of a creator. She's good at presentations, conferences, and investor engagement, and Ethan spends hours in the lab, turning ideas into real technology. "We're a perfect team," Victor once said. "Sophia leads, Ethan innovates. You're going to take this company to the next level." But everything changes when Victor has a stroke. Deteriorating health forced him to step down from running the company. The board needed a new CEO, and both the family and the board expected that Sophia and Ethan would lead together, each contributing their own strengths. However, Sophia had other plans. During the special board meeting, Sophia gave a persuasive presentation about how she should be the sole CEO. She listed Ethan's weaknesses: clumsiness in meetings, lack of executive experience, and prioritizing development over profit. The council, which was impressed by Sophia's professional demeanor, quickly voted yes. Ethan, who wasn't good at arguing, just kept quiet. But in that silence, he began to plan to protect his father's legacy and himself. Sophia Lin, with the newly won CEO position, quickly consolidated her power at Lin Innovations. She restructured the company, focused on business strategies that appealed to investors, and didn't hesitate to push her younger brother Ethan aside. Research budgets were drastically cut, Ethan's team was reallocated, and his proposed projects were repeatedly rejected. Sophia did not hide her intention to remove Ethan from the big picture of the company. Ethan, though hurt, remained silent and continued his work. He is focused on developing new technologies, including a breakthrough chip line that has the potential to take the company far ahead of its rivals. But at a presentation at the company's annual innovation conference, Sophia publicly humiliated Ethan in front of all employees and guests. "Nathan," she said in a sarcastic voice, "maybe you should spend your time working from home instead of wasting company resources." The next day, Sophia summons Ethan to the office and makes an agreement to resign. "We need to be realistic," she said. "You can leave with a generous compensation and focus on what you're good at, inventing, or you can be eliminated for nothing." Ethan signed the agreement without arguing. But Sophia made a big mistake. She didn't realize that, while she was focused on power, Ethan was quietly defending what was most important. During the past 5 years, every important patent of the company has been registered by Ethan under the name of his personal company, EL Innovations, with the support of their father, Victor Lin. The license to use this technology will expire as soon as Ethan leaves. Leaving the company with a losing appearance, Ethan is actually preparing for a move that Sophia cannot anticipate. Leaving Lin Innovations, Ethan Lin seems to have accepted defeat. However, Sophia Lin doesn't realize that Ethan has been quietly defending her family's true legacy. For the past 5 years, with the support of his father, Victor Lin, Ethan has secretly registered all of the company's important patents under the name of his personal company, EL Innovations. More importantly, the license to use these technologies is bound by one clause: the validity will end as soon as Ethan leaves Lin Innovations. Ethan spent the days after his resignation preparing for his next move. He coordinates with his lawyer, Alice, to ensure that all papers and patents cannot be challenged. Besides, he quietly follows what is happening at Lin Innovations, knowing full well that Sophia is planning to launch the company's largest product, a new line of chips based entirely on the technology he develops and owns. The product launch day took place in a large convention center with the participation of investors, the press, and well-known figures in the technology industry. Sophia, full of confidence, stepped onto the stage, showcasing her revolutionary line of chips that she claimed would shape the future. But just as the event was unfolding, Ethan and his lawyer sent a series of legal letters to Sophia, the board, and the media, announcing that all of the company's key technologies were owned by EL Innovations. The reaction was instantaneous. Sophia received the announcement right on stage, her face pale when she understood that her important event had turned into a public disaster. The company's shares plunged in a matter of hours, and Lin Innovations faced the risk of losing everything if it didn't find a solution. Ethan, from the position of the eliminated, now holds the decisive card, ready to enter the final round of negotiations. Lin Innovations' product launch event quickly turned into a disaster. In the middle of Sophia Lin's speech, the legal announcement from Ethan and his lawyer, Alice, threw the whole hall into chaos. Investors, journalists, and even the company's management team received the message at the same time. The core technology of the new product line is owned by EL Innovations, not Lin Innovations. More importantly, the license to use this technology expired as soon as Ethan resigned. Sophia was forced to leave the stage in confusion and anxiety. When the news spread, Lin Innovations' shares fell severely, losing 60% of their value in just one day. Investors were bewildered, emergency meetings were called, and the board quickly realized that the company was facing the risk of collapse. Ethan, meanwhile, kept quiet in the midst of the storm. When Sophia called him in desperation, Ethan only replied briefly, "Check the patent file, dear sister." Realizing that things were getting out of control, Sophia had to admit that she had underestimated her brother. During an emergency board meeting, Ethan showed up for the first time in months. He calmly presented two options. One, he will withdraw completely, retain patent ownership, and develop his own company so that Lin Innovations becomes an empty shell. Two, the company will restructure, and he will return as co-CEO in charge of R&D and innovation, while Sophia will focus on business and marketing, true to her strengths. After a brief vote, the board decided to accept option 2. Sophia, though unhappy, is forced to agree to save the company. In a spectacular blow, Ethan not only protects his father's legacy but also regains his rightful place, with power equal to Sophia's. After the board meeting, Ethan Lin officially returned to Lin Innovations as co-CEO, in charge of R&D and innovation, while Sophia Lin continued to be in charge of sales and marketing. This decision not only saved the company from the brink of collapse, but also marked the beginning of a new era. However, this cooperation did not take place easily from the beginning. Sophia, who is used to controlling things, is initially reluctant to accept the new role. But Ethan, with his composure and clear strategy, quickly proved that this collaboration was genuinely beneficial. He restored the previously disbanded research team, restarted abandoned projects, and introduced innovative products that helped the company quickly regain trust in the market. Meanwhile, Sophia uses her persuasion skills to present to investors and rebuild relationships with key partners. For the first time in years, she had to admit that Ethan was an irreplaceable partner. Gradually, Sophia learned to respect Ethan's talent, and Ethan also realized that her sister's strength in leading the business was an integral part of Lin Innovations' success. A year after the restructuring, the company not only recovered but also achieved greater achievements than before. Ethan and Sophia begin to find a balance, each focusing on their own strengths, while respecting and supporting each other. The relationship between the two people has improved not only in terms of work, but also in family relationships. This restructuring not only saved the company, but also created a solid foundation for growth, tying the two together to the true legacy of their father, Victor Lin. After a year of restructuring, Lin Innovations has come back stronger than ever. Under the joint leadership of Ethan and Sophia Lin, the company has not only restored its position, but also surpassed many competitors, thanks to breakthrough innovations from Ethan's R&D team and Sophia's effective business strategies. The combination of their creative talents and leadership skills has proven that the Lin family's legacy is not only preserved, but also flourishes. Despite her success at work, the family relationship between Ethan and Sophia still needs time to heal. Sophia gradually realizes that her old decisions, though motivated by ambition, have caused deep damage to her brother. For the first time, she began to show respect for Ethan's talent, even publicly acknowledging him as the man behind the company's biggest breakthroughs. Meanwhile, Ethan, who has always stood out from the limelight, realizes that Sophia has also learned to control her ego and make amends. board meetings gradually became more relaxed, and the two began to listen to each other's opinions sincerely. Family ties are no longer just power disputes, but become collaborations to maintain the legacy that their father, Victor Lin, has built. An important turning point occurred when Sophia hosted her first family dinner since it all began. Ethan was initially hesitant to participate, but his father, Victor, encouraged him. At dinner, Sophia raised her glass, her voice full of sincerity. "My brother, Ethan, who taught me that power is not always in control, but in creativity." Ethan, surprised but touched, replied, "And my sister Sophia, who has proven that true leadership is not just about making decisions, it's about learning to listen." That dinner was not only a moment of reconciliation, but also a testament to family bonding. Both Ethan and Sophia understand that, outside of the company, it's more important to rebuild trust and friendship between them. This is not only the rebirth of Lin Innovations, but also the rebirth of the Lin family. United, understanding each other, and looking forward to the future together. After the evening of reconciliation, the relationship between Ethan and Sophia Lin took a positive turn. No longer smoldering power disputes or simmering conflicts, the two have now found mutual respect, united by a common goal: to protect and develop the legacy of their father, Victor Lin. Lin Innovations not only recovered, but also achieved new milestones, becoming one of the pioneering technology companies in the market. Ethan and Sophia decided to take on a meaningful project to honor the place where their family started, the small garage where Victor built the first prototypes. The garage was renovated into the Lin Innovation Lab, a space for young engineers and inventors. Here, they had the opportunity to implement new ideas, received financial support and mentorship from Ethan himself, who has now become a symbol of perseverance and creativity. Sophia, with her talent for networking, helps bring inventions from the lab to market, forming a continuous circle of innovation. On the opening day of the lab, Victor Lin, despite his weak health, still sat in the front row, his eyes full of pride as he watched his two children stand on the stage. Sophia, in the speech, said, "This is not only where we continue our father's legacy, but also where we create opportunities for young talent to continue to innovate." Ethan continued, "Because creativity is not only about inventing something new, but also about nurturing the next generation so that they can do better." After the ceremony, Ethan returns to the office and pulls out an old photo of their family in front of the garage, where it all began. He picked up a pen and wrote a letter, not to Sophia or his father, but to future inventors. In it, he emphasized, "The greatest creativity does not always come from what is perfect, but from the way we turn fragments into masterpieces." Ethan puts the letter in a new safe, just like his father used to do to protect his family. The Lin family's legacy is now not only about technological inventions or successful business careers, but also the values of solidarity, perseverance, and responsibility to nurture the next generation. Lin Innovations is not only a symbol of innovation, but also a bridge between the past and the future, bringing hope and opportunity to dreams that have not yet come true. A year after the opening of Lin Innovation Lab, Lin Innovations has risen to become a symbol of innovation and perseverance. The company not only achieves technological achievements, but also becomes an inspiration for young talents. Ethan Lin, now the director of the R&D team, spends most of his time working in the lab, where he mentors young engineers. Sophia Lin continues to act as a bridge between the breakthrough ideas of the laboratory and the market, bringing new products to the world. On a quiet afternoon, Ethan sat in his office in the old garage, which has now become the company's creative center. In front of him is a letter, a message to young people who have a desire to innovate. The letter is not only a sharing of technology, but also a lesson from his own journey. The greatest creativity lies not only in inventing new things, but also in how we turn difficulties, fragments of life, into meaningful masterpieces. Ethan placed the letter in a safe in the lab, just like his father, Victor Lin, and himself had done. He understands that true heritage is not just what we leave behind in the form of assets or technology, but inspiration and opportunities for the next generation. These letters, inventions, and laboratories are the bridge between the past and the future, where dreams can be ignited. On the 35th anniversary of Lin Innovations, Ethan and Sophia stood on stage together, sharing family stories and lessons about cooperation and perseverance. Below, Victor Lin sat in the front row, his eyes full of pride as he saw his children now grown up and united. When the event lights go out, Ethan returns to the garage, where a group of young engineers are working. He smiled when he saw the passion in their eyes, just like he had before. Legacy is not the end, he thought, but the beginning of a new journey. By building a foundation for the next generation, Ethan understands that creativity is not only a goal, but also a continuous journey to inspire and preserve the true values of the Lin family. Lin Innovations is now not just a company, but a symbol of rebirth and hope.